Alex had always dreamed of the stars, of the vast unknown that sprawled endlessly across the cosmos. Today, that dream was taking its first breath of reality as he stepped onto the sprawling campus of the Intergalactic Academy. Located at the nexus of several converging wormholes, the Academy was a melting pot of cultures and species from across the universe, a place where the future leaders of the galaxy came to learn and grow. As he walked through the towering glass doors of the main hall, Alex couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and apprehension. The hall buzzed with languages and dialects so varied it sounded like a symphony, or a cacophony, depending on one's perspective. Students of all shapes and sizes moved about, some with tentacles, others with shimmering scales, and a few who seemed to be made of pure energy. Dragging his gaze away from a group of students who floated by, each encased in their own translucent bubble, Alex noticed a small figure huddled by her locker. She was distinctly different, with soft, luminescent blue skin and large, watery eyes that seemed too big for her face. Her delicate hands fumbled with books much too large for her, dropping one with a loud thud. The sound drew unwanted attention. A trio of larger, more rugged-looking students approached. Their laughter boomed across the hallway as they kicked the book away from her reach. The girl's shoulders slumped, and she made no move to retrieve her belongings. Alex felt a stir of anger. He had been taught to stand up for what was right, to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. Yet, as he started forward, a hand clamped down on his shoulder. "Best not get involved," whispered a humanoid student with a friendly grin. "That's Mina, from Zeltrax. Around here, she's sort of an oddity, poor thing. It's always like this." "But why doesn't anyone do anything?" Alex asked, his eyes still fixed on Mina. The student shrugged. "It's just how things are. Besides, she's a Zeltraxian. They're known to be, well, a bit backward and weak. Not really worth the trouble." Alex frowned, his gaze shifting between the retreating figures of the bullies and the downtrodden alien girl. The explanation sat poorly with him, a gnawing feeling in his gut telling him that ignoring this wouldn't be right. With a firm nod to himself, he decided that if no one else would, he would be the one to bridge the gap, to extend a hand of friendship and maybe, just maybe, change the course of both their lives. He stepped forward, picking up the book and walking over to Mina. Her eyes widened as he approached, a mix of fear and surprise flickering across her face. "Hi, I'm Alex," he said, offering the book with a smile. "Looks like we could both use a friend here." Mina took the book hesitantly, her gaze lingering on his face as if searching for the catch. But seeing none, a small, tentative smile broke through her anxiety. "Thank you, Alex. I'm Mina," she replied, her voice a soft melody that contrasted sharply with the boisterous noise of the hall. As Alex and Mina started talking, the first real connection was formed, one small step towards understanding in the vast, expansive universe that surrounded them. This was just the beginning, and as they would soon find out, their paths would lead them to challenges and adventures bigger than they could have ever imagined. Over the next few days, Alex began to settle into the rhythm of the academy, his initial awe of the place melding into a determined focus on his studies. However, his concern for Mina grew as he noticed the consistent pattern of her mistreatment. It wasn't just the trio from their first encounter. It seemed that wherever Mina went, whispers and cruel laughter followed. Despite this, Mina's intellect was undeniable. In their shared xenobiology class, she answered questions with a precision and depth that often left their teacher nodding in approval. Alex admired her resilience, watching as she buried herself in her studies, her face always lit by the soft glow of her datapad, seemingly using knowledge as a shield against the harshness of her peers. One afternoon, as the sun cast long shadows over the Academy's plaza, Alex and Mina sat beneath an ancient, sprawling Lunarian tree. Its leaves shimmered with a spectrum of colors, reflecting the diverse nature of the Academy itself. "Why do they treat you like this?" Alex asked after a moment, unable to contain his curiosity any longer. Mina looked at him, her eyes reflecting the sadness of someone far too accustomed to isolation. "On Zeltrax, my people are considered lower caste because of our empathic abilities. We are thought to be weak, easily overwhelmed by the emotions of others," she explained, her voice barely a whisper. "But that's incredible," Alex protested, genuinely puzzled. "To feel and understand emotions so deeply, it's a powerful gift, not a weakness." Mina smiled weakly. "Here, people fear what they do not understand. They see my sensitivity as a liability." Their conversation was abruptly interrupted by a harsh voice. "Hey, look, it's the human and his pet project." jeered a tall, muscular student from a species known for their competitive nature. His friends laughed, their eyes gleaming with malice. Alex felt his fists clench, but before he could stand, Mina placed a calming hand on his arm. "It's not worth it," she murmured, though her eyes were rimmed with moisture. Resigned, Alex stayed seated, but his mind raced with anger and frustration. As the bullies walked away, their laughter echoing off the academy walls, he knew something had to change. That evening, back in his dorm room, Alex couldn't shake the image of Mina's resigned face. He logged onto the academy's student forum, a platform for discussions and announcements. Typing with determination, he crafted a message calling for a meeting of student leaders to address the culture of bullying and harassment at the academy. He wasn't sure if it would make a difference, but he had to try. The next day, a message popped up on his screen. It was from the Student Council president, a renowned diplomat from the advanced civilization of Lyra. "Your concerns have been noted, and your initiative is admirable. Let's discuss further. Meet me tomorrow at the council chambers." Heartened by the response, Alex knew that the journey ahead would be challenging. But with Mina by his side, and perhaps with the support of the council, there was hope yet that the tides could turn. They might just be able to foster a spirit of understanding and acceptance within the walls of the Intergalactic Academy, one small step at a time. As the weeks at the Intergalactic Academy progressed, Alex found himself more and more integrated into the world of student politics, his efforts to combat bullying gaining traction. He met with the student council regularly, discussing strategies to foster inclusivity. Despite these efforts, the bullying of Mina persisted, albeit more covertly, as if her tormentors were adapting to the heightened scrutiny. One particular day marked the turning point. It was during a practical session in the Academy's zero-gravity simulation chamber, a critical training module designed for advanced navigation and combat strategies in space. Students floated in the chamber, equipped with simulation gear that included thruster packs and navigational aids. Mina, ever the diligent student, had been looking forward to demonstrating her advanced theoretical knowledge in a practical setting. As the simulation began, the students were tasked with navigating through a series of obstacles and solving problems along the way. Alex, watching from a control panel, noticed something amiss. Mina's movements were erratic, her thruster packs sputtering and jerking her back and forth violently. Panic was evident on her face as she struggled to maintain control. It quickly became apparent that her equipment had been tampered with. Without a second thought, Alex hit the emergency control, halting the simulation and rushing into the chamber. He reached Mina just as she started to hyperventilate, her fear of being stuck in endless freefall overwhelming her. He guided her safely to the chamber's exit, his arms securely around her. "Who did this?" Alex's voice was a furious whisper as they emerged from the simulation chamber. "I don't know, but this isn't the first time," Mina confessed, her voice trembling. "My equipment often malfunctions, and not just in simulations." Alex's heart sank. The realization that her tormentors were endangering her life was a stark awakening. This went beyond cruel jokes and playground taunts. This was malicious intent to harm. Determined to put an end to it, Alex gathered video footage from the simulation chamber, using his access as a student representative. The footage revealed a group of students, including the trio from their first encounter, tampering with Mina's equipment prior to the exercise. With the evidence in hand, Alex and Mina approached the Academy's administration. The meeting was tense, with the headmaster expressing deep concern over the findings. Decisive action was promised, and an investigation was immediately launched. In the aftermath, the student body was abuzz with the news of the sabotage. The incident served as a stark wake-up call to many who had previously turned a blind eye to the bullying. Mina, once isolated, found herself receiving support from various corners of the student community, her plight resonating with those who had remained silent out of fear or indifference. For Alex, the incident cemented his resolve. He had stood up for Mina when she needed it most, and in doing so had begun to change the culture of the academy. However, both knew that this was only the beginning. There were deeper prejudices and fears to address, and Alex was more determined than ever to ensure that the academy was a safe place for all, a place where knowledge and kindness were valued above all else. In the weeks following the simulation incident, the atmosphere at the Intergalactic Academy began to shift subtly. Mina, once a target of persistent bullying, started receiving nods of acknowledgement and quiet words of support from her classmates. The administration's swift response to the sabotage had set a new precedent, signaling that harassment would no longer be tolerated. As Mina's social standing improved, her friendship with Alex deepened. They spent hours together, not just in study sessions, but also exploring the various cultures represented at the academy. Mina introduced Alex to Zeltraxian culture, sharing her favorite digital archives of Zeltrax's history and art, a complex tapestry of beauty and tragedy, resilience, and empathy. One evening, as they sat in the Academy's holographic library, Mina turned to a particularly sensitive subject. "You know, Alex, on Zeltrax, we have a way of sharing experiences directly," she said, her voice hesitant. "It's very intimate, reserved for close connections. I would like to share some of my memories with you, if you're willing." Alex felt a surge of honor at her offer. "I'd like that, Mina. I want to understand more about you and your world." With a gentle nod, Mina reached out, touching a hand to Alex's temple. A rush of images and emotions flooded through him. Joy, sorrow, fear, and a profound sense of longing, all interwoven with Mina's personal memories. It was overwhelming and enlightening, offering Alex a deeper, visceral understanding of the struggles Mina had endured. The experience bonded them in a way Alex had never anticipated. It wasn't just friendship, it was a kinship, one that transcended their differences and forged a mutual respect and admiration. They became a formidable team, combining Mina's technical prowess and Alex's strategic thinking. Their newfound alliance was soon put to the test in an academic competition where teams were required to solve complex interstellar navigation problems. Many competitors underestimated them, especially Mina, whose reputation as a victim had clouded her true capabilities. During the competition, Mina's innovative approach to a particularly challenging problem caught the attention of both students and faculty. Her solution utilized a theoretical model of gravitational waves that hadn't been fully accepted by the scientific community yet. The gamble paid off, propelling their team to a surprising lead. Alex played his part too, deftly handling the team dynamics and ensuring that each member's strengths were effectively utilized. His leadership didn't go unnoticed. Whispers began circulating about his potential future in galactic diplomacy. Their success in the competition marked a turning point. Mina was no longer seen just as the bullied Zeltraxian girl. She was now recognized as a brilliant mind and a valuable member of the Academy. For Alex, the victory deepened his commitment to championing unity and diversity. As they walked away from the competition, medals around their necks, Mina turned to Alex, her eyes bright with unshed tears of joy. "Thank you," she said simply. "No, thank you," Alex replied, smiling, "for trusting me, for sharing your world with me." Their path forward was clear. Together, they would continue to challenge the status quo, advocating for a culture of respect and understanding. Their alliance had only just begun, but its impact was already undeniable, reshaping their lives and the ethos of the Intergalactic Academy. The newfound respect and recognition that Mina and Alex garnered from their recent academic victory had a ripple effect throughout the Intergalactic Academy. However, not everyone was pleased with the shifting dynamics. While many students embraced the change, others viewed the rising prominence of a previously marginalized student and her human ally with suspicion and resentment. The duo's success in the competition had inadvertently stirred a dormant undercurrent of xenophobia and elitism among certain factions within the student body. Whispers of discontent and plots of sabotage started to surface, aiming to undermine the progressive strides Alex and Mina had achieved. One day, while reviewing security protocols for an upcoming interstellar navigation conference, Alex stumbled upon encrypted messages on the Academy's network. The messages hinted at a coordinated effort to disrupt the conference, with the goal of embarrassing Mina and discrediting the administration's inclusive policies. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Alex brought the information to Mina, who was initially disheartened by the news. "Just when it seemed like things were getting better," she lamented, her shoulders sagging. "Don't worry, we'll figure this out," Alex reassured her, his mind racing with possible solutions. "Let's use this as an opportunity to show them what we're made of." Determined to protect their achievements and the integrity of the conference, Alex and Mina worked together to tighten security measures and prepare for any potential disruptions. They implemented advanced encryption on communications and set up surveillance to monitor the event closely. As the conference commenced, their preparations proved invaluable. A small group of students attempted to hijack the presentation system, only to be thwarted by the safeguards Alex and Mina had put in place. The quick response and resolution of the incident impressed the faculty and further solidified the administration's support for their cause. Despite these challenges, Alex and Mina continued to participate actively in academy life. They hosted workshops and seminars on cultural sensitivity and cooperation, inviting speakers from various species to share their experiences and knowledge. These events were well attended, fostering a better understanding among the student body and reducing the stigma associated with intercultural friendships. Through these efforts, Alex found himself at the heart of a growing movement within the academy, advocating for unity and respect across cultural and species lines. His leadership and dedication made him a prominent figure on campus, someone even the faculty came to for advice on handling interspecies relations. Meanwhile, Mina thrived academically, her confidence bolstered by the support and success they had achieved together. She published a paper on the application of Zeltraxian empathic abilities in conflict resolution, which garnered attention from academic circles beyond the academy. As they faced each challenge, their partnership only grew stronger, proving time and again that diversity was a strength to be embraced, not a weakness. Their journey was shaping up to be more than just a fight against bullying. It was becoming a beacon for change, influencing the entire fabric of the Intergalactic Academy. The cultural workshops and seminars that Alex and Mina initiated became a cornerstone of the new era at the Intergalactic Academy. Their efforts to promote inclusivity were not only reshaping attitudes, but also encouraging more students from varied backgrounds to step forward and share their stories. The Academy was slowly transforming into a model of interstellar cooperation and understanding. Amid these positive changes, the annual Intergalactic Strategy Tournament was announced, pitting teams from different faculties against each other in a series of challenges that tested both intellectual and physical prowess. The tournament was highly regarded, with prestigious opportunities for the winners, including internships with the Galactic Council and advanced research positions. Alex and Mina, recognized for their recent successes and leadership, were chosen to lead a diverse team representing their faculty. The team included members from 5 different species, each with unique abilities and perspectives. The selection itself was a testament to the shifting paradigm at the Academy. Previously, teams tended to be species-specific, operating in silos. Preparation for the tournament was intense. Alex focused on strategy and coordination, utilizing his diplomatic skills to ensure all team members felt valued and heard. Mina, with her deep technical knowledge and empathic abilities, helped tailor training and strategy to suit each member's strengths and weaknesses. As the tournament commenced, their team faced stiff competition. Some of the challenges were designed to provoke tension among team members, such as resource allocation tasks and high-pressure scenarios requiring quick consensus. However, Alex and Mina's groundwork in fostering unity and understanding within their team paid off. Their collaborative approach led to innovative solutions that outpaced the more traditional strategies of their rivals. One particular challenge involved a complex simulation of a planetary evacuation, where teams had to manage logistics, civilian safety, and hostile environmental conditions. The scenario was a grueling test of leadership, problem-solving, and ethical decision-making. Alex's team, leveraging their diverse abilities and Mina's empathic insights to anticipate civilian distress, executed a flawless operation that earned them high praise from the judges. Throughout the competition, the Academy buzzed with excitement and support for Alex and Mina's team. Their approach and success did not go unnoticed. It sparked discussions about the potential of integrated teams in real-world intergalactic operations. On the final day of the tournament, the team's cohesive spirit and strategic acumen were on full display. They faced a simulated space battle that required not only combat tactics, but also diplomatic negotiations to forge temporary alliances with other teams. Alex led the negotiations, while Mina coordinated the tactical operations, her calm under pressure keeping the team focused and efficient. Their final victory was met with cheers and applause from a mixed crowd of students and faculty. Alex and Mina, standing together with their team, felt a profound sense of accomplishment. They had not only won the tournament, but it also demonstrated the undeniable benefits of diversity and cooperation, challenging old prejudices and paving the way for a more inclusive future at the Academy. This triumph marked a turning point, significantly influencing the Academy's approach to education and team building. Alex and Mina had started as 2 friends standing against adversity, and now they stood as leaders of a movement that celebrated and embraced the rich tapestry of the galaxy's cultures. The Intergalactic Strategy Tournament's grand finale was more than just a competition. It was a showcase of the newfound spirit of collaboration that had been fostered at the Academy. The event was set in the Academy's largest arena, a vast space capable of simulating any environment, from the icy tundras of Frigidaire to the fiery landscapes of Solara. Alex, Mina, and their team entered the arena with confidence, their uniforms gleaming under the bright lights. The final challenge was dubbed the Battle Royale, a multifaceted test combining physical prowess, strategic thinking, and quick adaptation to changing conditions. It was designed to mimic a critical peacekeeping mission in a volatile sector of the galaxy, requiring teams to secure areas, manage resources, and negotiate with local leaders, played by advanced AI holograms. As the competition commenced, the arena transformed into a dynamic battlefield with shifting terrains and unpredictable weather patterns simulated to disorient and challenge the contestants. Alex's team started strong, quickly securing their initial objectives thanks to their well-coordinated efforts and Mina's strategic deployment of resources. However, the real test began when they encountered a group of rival students positioned near a critical resource node. Unlike previous encounters, this scenario required negotiation under duress, a skill Alex had honed over the past months. With Mina providing real-time analysis of the opponent's emotional and psychological states, Alex led the negotiation, showcasing a blend of diplomacy and tactical acumen. The negotiation was tense, with each side trying to maximize their gains while maintaining a cooperative stance. After several minutes of intense dialogue, Alex's team struck a deal, gaining access to the resources in exchange for support in the later stages of the simulation. This move not only secured a strategic advantage, but also demonstrated the practical applications of the values they had been promoting: unity and cooperation. As the scenario progressed, the challenges became more complex, involving rescues of injured civilians and the stabilization of critical infrastructure. Mina took the lead in these tasks, her empathic abilities allowing her to efficiently manage civilian evacuations and care. Her leadership during these missions drew admiration from both teammates and spectators, solidifying her reputation as a capable and compassionate leader. The final hurdle of the tournament was a surprise galactic storm simulation, testing each team's ability to withstand and adapt to catastrophic events. Alex's team, already well-versed in handling unexpected challenges, worked seamlessly to secure their personnel and resources, all while assisting other teams, embodying the spirit of mutual aid and cooperation. When the final whistle blew, the arena erupted into cheers. Alex, Mina, and their team were declared the winners, not only for their high scores, but also for their exemplary teamwork and humanitarian approach. The victory was celebrated by all, as it represented a shift in how challenges were viewed and handled at the Academy, no longer as battles to be won at all costs, but as opportunities to work together for common goals. As the team lifted their trophy, the applause was not just for their win, but for what they had achieved on a larger scale. They had turned the Academy into a place where diversity was not just accepted, but embraced as a vital component of success. Alex and Mina looked at each other, knowing that this victory was only the beginning of a new chapter in the Academy's history, one filled with hope and boundless possibilities. The aftermath of the Intergalactic Strategy Tournament was a time of reflection and celebration at the Intergalactic Academy. Alex and Mina's victory had transcended the boundaries of the competition, sparking a broader discourse on the values of diversity, teamwork, and empathy within the Academy. In the days following their triumph, the Academy buzzed with a renewed sense of purpose. The administration, recognizing the positive impact of Alex and Mina's actions, began to implement new policies to further encourage interspecies cooperation and understanding. Workshops and seminars that had been pioneered by Alex and Mina were now institutionalized, becoming core components of the curriculum. The student body, once fragmented by unseen prejudices and silent rivalries, found a new unity. The success of Alex and Mina's team served as a powerful example, illustrating that when diverse groups work together, they can achieve far greater than any single group working alone. The bullies and naysayers, once a dominant presence on campus, found themselves isolated, their attitudes clashing with the evolving ethos of the Academy. Meanwhile, Alex and Mina were invited to speak at a series of high-profile academic and diplomatic events, sharing their experiences and insights. Their story resonated not just within the confines of the Academy, but across planets and systems, inspiring similar initiatives in other institutions. The final ceremony of the academic year provided a fitting climax to their journey. Alex and Mina, standing on the podium before the entire Academy, were honored not only for their academic and competitive achievements, but for their courage and leadership in fostering a culture of inclusivity. Alex, addressing the assembly, spoke not of their victories in competition, but of the quieter, more profound victories they had achieved together. "This trophy," he said, holding up the gleaming metal symbol of their success, represents more than just strategic acumen or academic excellence. It represents our collective strength, the beauty of diverse minds working in harmony. It represents a future where no one stands alone. Mina, too, shared her thoughts, her voice strong and clear. When I first arrived at the academy, I felt isolated and misunderstood, she began, her gaze sweeping over the crowd. But I stand here today, surrounded by friends, by allies who have taught me that true strength lies in unity and compassion. As the ceremony concluded, the crowd erupted into applause, a sound that echoed off the walls of the great hall, filling the space with a palpable sense of hope and excitement for the future. Alex and Mina stepped down from the podium, their hearts full. They had faced numerous challenges, from personal struggles to systemic resistance, but had emerged not only unscathed but triumphant. They had changed the academy, perhaps irrevocably, for the better. Their partnership, forged in adversity and strengthened by mutual respect, had become a beacon for all at the academy. As they walked through the throng of well-wishers, their hands found each other, a silent acknowledgement of the bond they shared. The academy's future was brighter than ever, lit by the fires of change and the stars of possibility. Alex and Mina had not only envisioned a new world, but had taken bold steps towards realizing it. As they looked ahead, they knew the journey was far from over, but it was one they were now ready to face, together.